Today is National Teacher Appreciation Day, and of course we are celebrating by honoring an incredible local educator who has been named one of California's top 5 teachers of the year.
Mr. Romero is an international baccalaureate language and literature teacher at South Hills High School in Covina. And to say he's beloved would be an understatement. His impact goes far beyond the classroom. He's even officiated not one, but 2 weddings for former students. We are so excited to have Mr. Romero joining us this morning. Welcome. Thanks for what you do, and congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really exciting. I'm excited to be here.
Oh, it's wonderful to have you. What sparked your passion for teaching, and when did you realize it was your calling?
My mom is an avid reader, and she would leave these books laying around. And I remember picking up like a John Grisham novel when I was like 11 or 12.
Oh, wow.
And I read it in like 2 days, all like 500 pages of it.
Wow.
And I just loved stories, and I loved writing, and I had really great teachers that had a really big impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Do you think about that when you're in the classroom, the teachers that impacted you and the trajectory ultimately of your life, and how do you go about impacting the students?
Well, yeah, I mean, I try to model my teaching, combining a lot of like the elements of my favorite teachers. And I try to, it's my way of like honoring them.
Yeah. So. It is so hard what you do. I mean, people don't realize the hours that you put in ahead of the classroom hours, and so much of it unpaid, and often teachers are using their own supplies to help students. Right. But it must be rewarding because you're clearly affecting lives. What's the most rewarding?
The most rewarding is building these relationships, right? Seeing the students grow into wonderful, wonderful adults and people that are just, changing the world.
Yeah.
A couple of my students did end up getting engaged, and they asked me to officiate their weddings.
That's
and I've officiated two different weddings for former students.
Wow. Fantastic.
That is huge. When it comes to being named one of California's top 5 teachers of the year, when did you find out? How was the moment? What was the reaction from your students?
Well, it's a process. It's this really long process to where our district nominated and named me the district teacher of the year. Okay. And then from then on, it's this application process with interviews, Zoom meetings, essays, and all of these things. And then I was named one of LA County's Teachers of the Year. And then from then on, it went on to State Teacher of the Year.
They made you write an essay?
28 pages worth.
Double spaced.
I mean, it's not one essay, but it was like a series of essays.
10.5. Did you fudge the margins?
Yeah, right? Yeah, so, it's a long process, and
They give you a call?
I'm one of 5. Superintendent Tony Thurmond called me back in November and told me I was one of the 5 State Teachers of the Year.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
You talked about officiating a couple of weddings. Tell us about that, the relationships that you developed there, and how did that come about?
Yeah, well, the first wedding I officiated was former student Samantha Dominguez and David Limon. And I used to be the swim coach, and they were both my students and on the swim team. And I believe story has it that he asked her out for their first date, like right outside of my classroom.
Oh, wow.
So they reached out, once they were engaged.
Yeah.
And they asked if they can stop by to visit for lunch, and they came and brought me this gift, asking me to officiate their wedding.
You're part of their love
I mean, just for them to go and want me to be part of their big day.
Yeah.
I mean,
how special.
No words, right?
Yeah. I remember meeting my now husband in my high school math class. So it's so important to remember the full circle story when it comes to.
What was the grade you got?
How'd you do?
Caesar was always better.
Okay.
Caesar always better. That's fine. He's a finance guy now, so that works out. What do you think students need most in 2026 from their teachers? Take us back to how you were inspired by your teachers growing up. Is it about being lax, being hands-off, or is it about being more hands-on, taking away technology? What do they need?
It's finding that balance, right? Finding that sweet spot. Students now are under so much pressure. I teach seniors, and it's an IB class, so that's college level class. And these students are under so much pressure, whether it's at home, whether it's from their friends, all of these things. And I think it's finding that balance of like getting them ready, showing them you care, and building relationships. it's almost as if you have to kind of teach the student before the curriculum, because they all have, you know, different stories, and even just getting there and being at school, you don't know what battles they have to fight to get there.
Yeah.
So, you know, having some empathy and just, you know, seeing them and letting them know you care, that goes a long way.
Well, we're grateful again, and I mean it sincerely. Thank you so much for what you do every day.
Thank
We really
you so
appreciate
much.
All right.